Let's go! So today we're going to do a film study breaking down one of LSU's best players, and he's kind of been slept on up to this point in the year. So here we don't really generate that much pass rush, and in this game, this play was just so huge. Mississippi State missing an open touchdown right here. Dwight McGlothern getting beat in the red zone, and, they barely miss right there. So, Will Rogers, his receivers aren't as good this year, but quite honestly, he is better. Now, the guy that I want to focus on, though, today is JAQUELIN Roy. And I want you to see here on this double, this is as true of a double team as you're going to see. And, if you're in these pass rushing situations, right, if you're rushing three and they're sending it back out on a route, the guy that gets the one-on-one has got to make a play, okay? So right here, B.J. Ojulari's going up against, an NFL draft pick in Charles Cross. He was a top 10 pick, and he's getting eaten alive. But look at how JAQUELIN Roy versus this double is still able to squeeze through here and make a play on Will Rogers, and he just blows this entire play up. Good job by Ali Gay retracing his steps and making this play right here, because if he had time, he could have obviously ran for these yards. He could have hit this guy, could have hit this guy. And honestly, this pressure up the middle by Roy, the design of this play was for this to be a fake screen, and they were trying to hit them over the top right here. And truth be told, because there was such good pressure up the middle, boom, Will Rogers couldn't see over the middle right here, where Austin Williams, his roommate, is open, right? And Roy blows this up. So that goes to show you how big of a deal it is to get this Mississippi State behind the sticks, right? And right now they only gain 1 yard on first. And this is where Mississippi State, ran into trouble. Cordell Flott got an interception on this early in the game. Will Rogers on the second down, we're dropping 8. They ate us all day on just these little checkdowns, right? Throw it to Marks, and they picked up 6-7 yards at a time. But here, Will Rogers tries to thread the needle here, and Micah Baskerville gets a piece of it. And quite honestly, it could have been picked off right there. That's what we want Will Rogers to do, try and make these difficult throws. You'll see it right here. Once again, this time we're twisting JAQUELIN Roy around here, and they pick it up. Okay, so we have no pressure. Ali Gay going man-to-man versus this guy. Ironically, he is in a 4-eye right here. It's very interesting. So, for those that don't know, a 4-eye is the inside shoulder of the tackle. So it does make it difficult to rush with contained responsibilities here. But, they pick this up, and look at this play right here by Baskerville. Look at this. He deflected that, and that forced the receiver to miss it. We want Will Rogers trying to make those throws. So this is where we want him, okay? And this is where this is going to get a little technical, okay? It's 3rd and 9. And this is how I feel about modern defensive line play, okay? I think the best place to rush the passer isn't the edge, it's the 3 technique, right? The outside shoulder of the guard, okay? So right here, we're in 2-3 techs. You're able to do this against a quarterback who's not as mobile. And the good thing about Will Rogers is that he's not a dual-threat quarterback. So, he can beat you with his legs. He does have some scrambling ability. But as a pass rusher, we want him scrambling, okay? So now what I want you to do is watch this play, and we will come back and break it down, okay? So you'll see it right here, all right? We get our one-on-one with our 3 tech, and JAQUELIN Roy makes this play, okay? So we're going to go ahead and play it out for you, and now we're going to break it all down, okay? So, part of the issue with our 3 techs last year was that we could crowd the ball, and it's hard for the end on this side to see the football get fired off. And sometimes last year I saw B.J. Ojulari get a late jump, and, in this situation, I just prefer him to be standing, but it is what it is. So we're in this 3 tech, and you notice Mason Smith is off the ball so the end can see it a little bit clearer on this side. So if that's the case, we really, really need JAQUELIN Roy to make a play. So as you see, it is a 5-man protection. The running back decides to actually, roll out here. So now we need these 4 guys to beat these 5, okay? So now we come back here. And watch Mason Smith eat this double right here, okay? So he rushes to the inside, and by rushing to the inside, we're able to get one-on-ones across the way, okay? Now, because of the running back right here, it kind of cuts off Ali Gay's path, and BJ, remember, really couldn't see the ball. So if that's the case, we need JAQUELIN Roy to dominate this guard right here, okay? Now, let's bring it back, and that is exactly what he does out of this 3-tech, okay? He does a swim move to the inside. This was my go-to move as a rusher. It's the most unstoppable move. In a 3-tech, a swim move to the inside is really difficult to block. Now, a faster quarterback could tuck and run right here, but if you beat him fast enough, there is no room to run, and that is exactly what happens here, okay? And for those that don't know, a swim is when you put your left arm on his shoulder and you right arm like a swim, a Michael Phelps over the top with the right arm. It's really difficult to block, and he swims right over. It's good, quick, vicious as well. And you notice this pressure right in his face makes this throw by Will Rogers really difficult. You see how much struggle it is for him to get that football out. He wasn't able to fully step into this ball. And if he actually is throwing a ball with all of his might to the upfield shoulder, he might be beating Dwight McGlothern to the sticks. But something else that's really good about a quick pass rush is if you're in zone coverage, the DB's eyes goes towards the quarterback as well as the receiver. And man, you can't put your eyes on the quarterback, right? So McGlothern is able to, with this peripheral vision, see that there is some pressure being generated here. And if there is pressure being generated, it allows you to jump a play, okay? So he's able to see that this ball very quickly is going here. He's able to leave this receiver going on this go route, and even if he would have caught it, he would have been getting a massive hit right here, okay? It is a little bit of a gamble because if for some reason this ball was being thrown here, you are getting beat over the top. Still, it's the pressure that was generated right there. I know we're making a lot out of the Will Rogers thing, but the truth is he is a really, really good quarterback. The key, though, is keeping them behind the sticks, right? Mississippi State's one of the best time of possession teams because even though they don't run the football, the best thing you can do is stay ahead of the sticks and continue to make plays, okay? And you see, we want him trying to throw over the top of the zone into those tight windows. That's where they had trouble. Where they had success was taking the yards on 1st and 2nd down. Boom! I'm looking at you. Yes, you right now. Okay, so I welcome in a bunch of Mississippi State fans. We do get a lot of viewers from other fan bases. It's good to hear you guys. Please comment down below your thoughts. We love opposing views. There was a Mississippi State fan that was accusing me of the whole time we knew you were picking LSU from my video yesterday. It's crazy how people aren't patient and they don't actually listen to your videos. And there was a lot of, why are you showing Ole Miss clips? If you want to see the reason why, a big reason why I'm picking LSU to win this game, watch our video from yesterday. It'll be floating in your face in just a second. But, there's so much going into this, Mississippi State versus LSU. And while I do like LSU, there are some things that are going in Mississippi State's favor. So I went back and actually looked at the clippings leading into the game, and Mike Leach talked about LSU's defense and what they like to do. And a big thing that LSU's defense had in their favor was that this was the first time all year that they had shown this look, this rush 3, drop 8. So Mike Leach and, a lot of people thought that LSU's defense was going to do what they normally did, which was the defense they ran versus Mississippi State's 2020 air raid 623-yard performance at Tiger Stadium. Man coverage, 2-man under, which is, one thing you shouldn't do versus this team. What you should do is, like here, rush 3, drop 8, and make them methodically move the football. Now, while this play right here did result in a turnover, and this is what you want Mississippi State to do, force them to make plays like they've shown on tape this year. They do have drop issues. They do have ball security issues. Once again, I'm really high on Xavier Thomas, the freshman from Louisiana that's on their team, but you got to make them move the football up and down the field. My buddy Max Toscano had a really good thread on what you have to do against this team. You do have to be patient. They are going to be able, because they are so precise with their short passing game, they're going to be able to move the football some. The key, though, is not allowing explosive plays. And Mekhi Polk, number 10, who's no longer there, had a very nice touchdown in this game when we blew a coverage assignment later. So that's one thing you do have to do. And, I do think the drastic defensive switch surprised Mississippi State. Maybe they thought they were going to see rush 3, drop 8, but I highly doubt it. The second thing that's going to be very interesting when you look at last year's matchup is LSU's defense in the game did play 88 plays. Now, they are not going to play 88 plays on Saturday because part of the reason why was the turnovers, the sudden change. This game did get very chaotic. There was a lot of 2-minute offense from Mississippi State, which will, of course, increase your play count. But at the same time, LSU's offense also had a lot of explosive play touchdowns in this game. So they scored relatively quickly. Can LSU win another game where its defense plays 88 plays? I don't know, but like we mentioned in yesterday's video, I would be more concerned about the status of the Mississippi State defense, knowing what they went through last week. So that video will be floating in your face. It honestly did get pretty crazy. So let me know, Mississippi State fans, what you guys think of your offense. Obviously, Will Rogers, one of the best quarterbacks this year in college football, definitely one of the best pure pocket passers. It is kind of interesting, though, not really an explosive vertical passing attack, right? Will Rogers, ADOT's not the highest. I think the longest play they had last week was of 20 yards. And one more interesting thing about Mississippi State's offense, how much are they going to run the football, right? LSU's defense has struggled to tackle between the tackles at the second level. So will they actually attack that? I don't know. I really don't. So we shall see what happens. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please subscribe, ring the bell, check out our podcast where we do owe an LSU big-time star a major apology. All that will be linked down below. It is Power Hour LSU. Boom. Shout out to Do a Barrel Roll for putting this video together. And tonight, what are we doing tonight? Are we doing some barbecue? Let's go.